Now, I don't know if you know it or believe it or not, but right now in Metro Atlanta, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of homes, plenty of homes available right now for sale. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? I hope you are ready for the information that we're going to cover in this video today. And that's whether you are buying or selling or investing in real estate in Atlanta. Listen, the information that we're going to cover today in this video, you're not really hearing about it a lot of places. You're not seeing it covered anywhere. The realtors aren't talking about it. The lenders aren't talking about it. And we're going to help you get caught up to speed on what you should be doing. That's whether you're buying or selling and investing in real estate. So, just like I just said, right? There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of new homes and active homes available on the market compared to last year. So we just got the numbers from February. And what do we see? A 40% increase in the amount of homes available for sale. Now, where does that come from, right? Where does the increase in the amount of homes available for sale come from? Well, part of it has to do with the fact that homes aren't really selling like they used to, right? For a lot of people, the rates are simply too high, all right? And rates right now, they're like 6.74. And I'm not here to tell you whether you should be buying or shouldn't be buying. Like, that's not my position. My job is to help you get a deal or make the best of it if you're selling. But right now, rates are like 6.74%. And so a lot of buyers, when they look at a home like this is a brand new home right here, south of Atlanta, right? This home is probably going to be right in the $320,000 range, like $320,000. Comment below if you think that this is what you would spend $320,000 on, right? But if you were to do that, then your mortgage on this home is easily going to be, say, $2,300-$2,400, right? And a lot of people really can't afford that because for the entirety of all U.S. home mortgages, right, before 2020, the average mortgage had never exceeded anything more than $1,500. And so fast forward to today, one of the main things that is causing this inventory to shoot up like crazy is the fact that there are all these homes available and people have to pay $2,000 a month for them, right? So you can let me know if that's something that you would be willing to pay. But the numbers, 40% more home inventory than last year. Now, on a numerical basis, what does that end up adding up to or signaling or showing us, right? That ends up being about 7,000 more homes available for sale right now in Metro Atlanta than we had this same time last year. 7,000 more homes. And so if you are someone that's sitting on the sidelines, it's my opinion that you should be getting ready to buy a home, like if you want to. If you've been sitting on the sidelines trying to figure out, like, when am I going to get a chance to be able to buy a home? When am I going to be able to get a deal, right? Now is actually the time that you should be doing that. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what you should do, whether you're buying or selling a home. But Genius Crew, you already know what time it is. Drop the track. Welcome back. It is Market Genius, Atlanta Realtor. Been doing this almost a decade here, giving you the game, the knowledge that most people aren't giving you when it comes to real estate. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, join the Genius Crew. We want to see you here for all the upcoming videos that we got in the future, and we're building a community, so we want you to be part of it. Now, back to what you should be doing. Let's talk about buying, right? So I have a client right now. They came to me a couple weeks ago and they're like, hey, Mark, I want to, be able to buy a house. They sold their house a couple of years ago to move down to Atlanta. And they said, they're ready to get them another house. But they were concerned about not only just prices, but also, what they have to bring to the table in terms of like closing costs and down payment. And I told them, I said, right here in Atlanta, we have plenty of inventory. And because we have plenty of inventory, what that does is it increases the amount of leverage that you have as a buyer. And so I just told them straight up, how much money do you want to bring to closing? Like, just be real with me. Tell me, what number are you okay with bringing to closing? And we will get that from the seller, right? Fast forward. So we find the house that they're looking for. And then we start, of course, negotiating, because every time I make an offer, I tell all my clients, I got to get a no first. If you are buying real estate in 2025 and you make an offer and you don't get a no first, you're doing yourself a disservice, because the sellers are panicking. And we'll get to the sellers in one moment, all right? So he tells me the exact number that he's looking for, that he wants to bring to closing. I'm like, okay, cool, I can do that. Then on top of that, he's like, well, hey, by the way, the house that I found, my wife, she wants to remodel the home before we move in. So we looked at the options for getting a 203K loan. For those of you who don't know what 203K is, like a renovation loan, to where the price of the renovations are built into your loan. That quite wouldn't work for the type of property that he was looking at buying. So I just say, you know what? I think we can actually get the seller to pay for your renovations. So me being the tough negotiator that I am, I go to the seller and I tell him straight up, hey, first and foremost, I don't think that you're going to be able to sell this home as fast as you think that you are. Like, I didn't say that directly to her. She probably would have hung up the phone on me, because you know how people are. Nobody likes to be wrong, and they don't definitely like somebody like me to tell them how to run their business. All right. So, I pretty much just told her, hey, we'll buy the home from you, but we're going to need $30,000. We want $30,000 from your seller to cover these renovations, cover the closing costs. At first, they said no, which is what I anticipated that they were going to say. But after the fact, they came back and they said, we can do 15. Nope, can't do 15. And, I knew they were going to say no to 30. So, long story short, we end up settling on $25,000 going directly to my buyer, so they can get money towards the closing costs, also have the kitchen renovated, have the house painted, and things like that. And so my point is that if you're buying a house in today's market, definitely better be negotiating, because here in Atlanta, they have brand new houses going up everywhere. Like, literally, I can't show you because it's too far down the street, but there's this neighborhood, a quarter mile down the road. There's another neighborhood of townhomes about a quarter mile up the road. Like, if you hang a left at the light, there's two more massive single family home neighborhoods. And almost like behind this neighborhood, there's another neighborhood that is building 133 homes. All right. So if you're buying a house, you should be negotiating, especially resale. And now when it comes to these new construction homes here in Atlanta, a lot of these builders, they don't want to, they're not going to want to, but they are willing to negotiate as well, right? There's even builders here in Metro Atlanta right now who are dropping their prices by $50, $60, $90,000, some of them. And if you don't believe me, just contact me and I will show them to you. All right. Now, let's talk about some of the other data, because it seemed like housing prices would never go down here in Metro Atlanta. All right. And long term, I don't think that they will go down much. I think you can negotiate down, but just because of the nature of the business, and everybody isn't a negotiator, and there are a lot of realtors who just don't understand numbers. So good luck if you end up working with one of them. But median home prices year over year, they actually did see its first decline that I've seen in quite some time. So median home prices here in Metro Atlanta, they dipped by a little bit over 1%, right? And I know that 1% isn't the largest amount, all right? But it is something, because we don't see it that often when it comes to home prices here. Just another sign of what's coming this season for buyers and sellers. And speaking of sellers, let me just talk to you directly. If you or you know somebody that is selling their home, number one, you're going to have to get the right help, because the days of putting a house on the market and just dropping a sign in the yard and just being able to get the house sold right in a weekend, that's done. And I don't know if you will ever see a time like that again. Don't want to ever say never, but I would just say that it's really unlikely that you see a time like that again. The market conditions are probably not going to present itself like that for, I don't know, it'll be so far in the future that you forgot that it actually happened. Now, on top of that, one of the other suggestions that I have is that a lot of these sellers, you're still paying your agents 3%. Now, obviously, I'm an agent, so I'm not going to, tell you to stop paying agents 3%. What I am going to say is that if you are paying an agent 3%, you got to get a detailed plan from them, right? See, a lot of these agents, they're still putting signs in the yard, sitting back. Some of them are still taking photos with their cell phone, right? They're not even putting any money towards marketing. And in a market like this, where homes are sitting on the market about 65 days, do you expect somebody to be paying attention with your listing and your money for 65 days? Do you expect them to actually be attentive to your needs and helping you get something sold for 65 days? If you do, then good for you. You'll see how that actually ends up working out. But if you're selling a home, you better be really careful this year about who you hire to do it, because a lot of these homes are going to end up cutting prices. All right. There are still sellers out here who think that they can get 2022 prices on their home, and you're just not going to be able to. There's too much inventory. Their buyers have too many other choices, and so they're just not going to show up to see your house, right? Not going to come see your house. And if you run into an agent like me, I'm telling you, I'm coming to take your money from you. That's what I'm coming to do. I'm taking it from you and giving it to my buyer, okay? So let's wrap this up, right? We are at an inflection point when it comes to real estate here in Metro Atlanta. It does not look like the rates are going to come down a lot. Anything can happen. The inventory is going to continue to skyrocket, right? Because on top of us having 7,000 more homes available compared to last year, that number is going to keep growing because we haven't even hit the spring yet. And the sales are down. I forgot to mention that. The sales are down almost 10% compared to last year. 10% drop in sales, 40% increase in inventory. You do the math and figure out what's going to happen. All right. And lastly, if you've been sitting on the sidelines ready to buy or sell and you want expert help, right? Not the person who is just going to tell you, oh, this house is beautiful and it's got a wonderful yard. If you want expert help, somebody who can help you understand, navigate, and win in the deal, you can just click on the link below in the description, pick a time for us to chat, and I guarantee it will not be a waste of your time. Because what a lot of people continue to do is they just pick realtors because they know them. And just because you know somebody doesn't mean you should trust them with a $500,000 decision. But do as you like. I'm telling you, it is going to be a wild ride. And there are going to be some great stories that come out of real estate this year. I just hope that you are on the right side. If you got a little bit of time, take some time, look at some of the videos we talked about, especially this one I'm gonna put on the screen right here, because this video is super underrated. I talked about and I educated people about the cycles of real estate. For whatever reason, YouTube did not distribute the video, so the masses didn't find out. So you got the chance to learn about this right here. Learn about it, capitalize off of it, and I will see you in the next one. Market Genius out. Peace.